Namaskar children, welcome to today's class, and today our topic in economics second chapter, people as resource, economic activities by men and women. Based on the picture, can you classify these activities into three sectors? Yes. How can we classify these three activities into three sectors? There are economic activities by men and women. So that picture we can classify it into three sectors. That activities have been classified into main three sectors are primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. See the primary sector here. Primary sector is the first sector. If you see the picture here, agriculture, mining, fishing, poultry. This is primary sector and this is the basic sector. And coming to secondary sector, manufacturing, it is included in the secondary sector. If you see here, this is the industrial unit, that is called secondary activity. And secondary activities also, some other pictures are here. Manufacturing is called secondary activity. Natural resources are properly modified in secondary activity. And now come to third sector, tertiary sector, banking, health, insurance and transportation. So these are the tertiary sectors, and this is what called as market activity. What do you mean by market activity? Buy and sale is called as market activity, and market activity means the activities are also called as economic activities. These activities involve remuneration to anyone who performs. That means activity performed for pay or profit is called market activity. This is included production of goods or services including government service. This is called market activity. And see this picture, this is called non-market activity. Non-market activities are the production for self-consumption. These can be consumption and processing of primary product and own account production of fixed assets. This is called as non-market activity. And now market activity or non-market activity, again you can understand by this. Economic activity also called market activity, and just now I taught you that market activities are those activities which is performed for pay or for profit. Means production of goods or services, government services also come under the market activity. Means the activity which are doing for pay and profit in the market. Non-market activities are the production for self-consumption. Self-consumption means for their own use. And now division of labor between men and women. How the work will be divided between men and women. Actually, if you see that every house or everywhere, women generally look after domestic chores and men work in the field. Domestic chore means household work. So women work in the house and men work in the fields. But actually, the women are not paid for the services delivered in the family. For example, your mother is doing all the work like cooking, cleaning the house, washing the clothes and taking care about the children. This all work is doing by the women in each and everybody's house. But you are not giving any money to your mother, because the household work done by women is known as non-market activity. Why? Because it is not recognized as a national income. Mother is doing or woman is doing the work, but we are not paying any money. Why? Because it is not earning any income, so it cannot be recognized as a national income. And how the earning of a person can be determined? We determine the earning of a person on their education and the skill. Based on the education or qualification on the skill, their earnings, their income will depends. And how an individual can get better income, better standard of living? Education. So education help the individual to make better use of the economic opportunity available before him. So division of labor means what? Division of work between men and women. Anybody, any individual, if their education is good, then they get better opportunities. Because of the better opportunities, they will get better income. What are the problems nowadays the women are faces in the society? Majority of the women are paid very low as compared to men. For example, if you take agriculture labor in any village in the field, then for example, the farmer is giving 150 rupees for daily wage to a man, but that farmer cannot give 150 rupees per day as a daily wage to the woman. They can give 130 rupees or 120 rupees. There will be a difference between 20 rupees to 30 rupees or sometimes 50 rupees difference also, but the farmer do not give the equal wages to the women along with the men. And what another problem the women are facing? No job security for the women. Anytime they will take off the women from the work, whatever work it may be. And in this sector, means mostly in the agricultural sector, there is absence of basic facilities like maternity leave, children, child care in other social security system. Whether it is a primary sector or a secondary sector or tertiary sector, if it is a job is not having job security, they do not provide any facilities like maternity leave. Maternity leave means when the woman was pregnant, they will not give any leave to her, and when the child was born, the mother have to take care about the child, so they do not give any holidays, and there is no social security system for the women. This is the problem. But women with high education and skill formation are paid at par with the men. But remember one thing, if the women and the men qualification is same, experience is same, they are getting equal salaries if the education is high and the skill is more. Otherwise, the women is not treated equally along with the men in the society. And now, the quality of population depends upon the literacy rate, health of a person, indicated by life expectancy, and skill formation acquired by the people of the country. So, just I told you about the problems of the men and the women. Actually, population is more, but what type of population we want? Quality of population, and quality of population depend upon some factors. What are the factors? If the quality population is good, then it decides the growth rate of the country. So that means what? um, Quality of population is the main, that literacy rate, health of a person, health of a person, and it is called an asset. Life expectancy, health of a person, literacy rate. But illiterate and unhealthy population are liability for the economy. Liability means what? Legal burden. It is a drawback. So population quality depends on education and health factors. It decides the life expectancy and skill formation. And what is the major thing that plays a very important role for the quality of population? First one called literacy, that is called education. If you see here, Indian education, Indian higher education, first primary education starts from class 1 to 5, the age of the child between 6 to 11 years. Second category, secondary education, it starts from class 6 to 10, the age is 11 years to 15 years. Okay. And next, coming to higher education, the class is from 11 to 12, age is between 16 to 17. And coming to higher secondary above graduation, that is professional courses 4 years. Suppose if you want to become a doctor, that is called medicine 5 years, and if you want to do any commerce course like BCom 3 years. Professional course means BTech like engineering 4 years. Post graduation MA, MCom, MSc like that. One year maybe some post graduate diploma courses, and 5 to 3 years. This is the education strategy in our country. The people have to go the education like this. And what is the main thing in education? Actually, education is very important to everybody. As you have studied in the previous two examples, Sakal and Vilas. Why Sakal is called an asset and Vilas is called as liability? Because of education and skill formation, Sakal become an asset. Asset means what? Advantage. Advantage to the family. He will bring economy to the family as well as to the country also. Whereas Vilas, unhealthy, child, and he will become a liability, that is called as legal burden. So by these two examples you can understood that two children belongs to the same village Simapur, but Sakal is become an asset and Vilas become a liability. What is the reason? Because of the education. So education means who will provide the education to the people? Education is an important for the growth of the people and for the country also, because education contributes the growth of the society also. Because of the education, it enhances the national income, cultural richness, and increases the efficiency of the governance means what? Government. Without education nothing is there. So what education brings? Education brings national income, cultural richness, means it develops your culture, and increases the efficiency of the governance. Efficiency means government is efficient because of the education. As I told you in the previous example, Japan. Children, Japan is having only 4% of natural resources, but why Japan become as industrialized country and developed nation? Because of human resource. They invested more on the human resource in the form of education and health factors. That is why it will become as industrialized country and developed nation also. And how the education we can provide? There is a provision made for providing universal access and retention and quality in elementary education with a special emphasis on girls. So education, how the government will provide universal access means right, universal means all. Education must be provided to all the people, and we should retain the quality in elementary education. Quality education should be provided at the elementary level, means first standard one, and especially girls education. Olden days, before Britishers period, during Britishers period, girls education is not encouraged in India. After we got independence, so many reforms afterwards, slowly during Britishers period also, with the help of Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Dayananda Saraswati, Ishwara Chandra Vidyasagar, these people are called great social reformers. They work a lot to bring to change the society and to bring the girls education in the society. And as the girls are sitting along with you in the classroom and studying, receiving education means it does not done in 1 or 2 days. Several years taken place to bring the girl child to the society. So mostly special emphasis means effort should be made on the girls to receive the education. And not only that one, what are the demandable courses are there in the society? That means what? That Navodaya schools established in each and every district, and vocational stream has been developed, equip a large number of high school students with occupation related to knowledge and skills. Vocational stream course means computer courses. As Sakal studied computer course, so that is why he has discovered a new software. So that is why he got a promotion. Vocational courses, computer training, TV operation. That means diploma courses like polytechnic courses, that is called vocational courses. We can encourage the child in the high school level, so that after completing the diploma course the child will get a job according to his or her qualification. So to promote the education by the Indian government, first plan, they have laid on education, they have laid importance on education. So that is why in the first 5-year plan 151 crores first they have given. Later on in 11th 5-year plan 3766.90 crores were spent on education. Means first 5-year plan 151 crores, and 11th 5-year plan 3766.90 crores was spent on education. And the expenditure on education in the form of percentage of GDP rose from 0.64% in 1951 to 52 to 3.11% in 2011 and 12. And like this they focus on the education, and the literacy rate also increased from 18% in 1951 to 74% in 2010 and 11. First of all, 16.6% literate people only, the males, but in females only 16.1. This is also in the urban areas, not in the rural areas. Why this is a difference? Male is having more high literacy rate, 16.6% and 16.1%. That also urban areas, towns and cities, but rural areas it is very less, because so many years girls education is not encouraged. And the literacy rate also different from one state to another state, as you have seen the 93.9% in Kerala to 54% in Bihar. If you see the bar graph here given here, person male and female 1951 to 2004 as given in your textbook also. This is given the data. This is the development of education focused by the government. And the literacy rates also vary from one state to another state. As you see in the Kerala, 96% in some districts of Kerala and below 30% in some parts of Madhya Pradesh. Actually, first primary school system was expanded to 5 lakh villages in India, and expansion of schools also been diluted by Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. What is this Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan means? Actually, Navodaya schools are set up by the government in each and every district, and government took several measures for the development of education, but still government feels that education is not expanded in that level. So that is why Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. Sarva means all, Shiksha means education, Abhiyans means program. That is the meaning of that. It is a very significant step towards providing elementary education to all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years by 2014. It means that 2014 central government started this new program to promote the education on a large scale, that who didn't receive the education, the child is between 6 to 14 years, that is called Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. And what is this program? It is a time bound initiative, central government in partnership with the state, local government and the community for achieving the good of universalization of elementary education. This program is combined with central government, state government and the local self government and the communities also. Community means community of the people. All this together universalized means giving education. Universe means not universe in the space. Universe means to all the people. At what level? Already I told you one bar diagram like that. Higher education, secondary education, graduation, post graduation. So Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan started at where? Grassroots level. That means what? Elementary education. And what are the present goals of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan? Because of the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, what are the goals they have taken? Actually, the program was introduced in 2014. But this program, they have made the goals, some other goals, means they have reformed in 2015, opened new schools. Where schools are not there, there they opened the new schools, and the schools also provided with infrastructure, means facilities. Infrastructure means facilities and maintenance of the schools also. And next, which schools they are not having sufficient teachers, there they provided the teachers at the training, means trained teachers with good qualification they have provided. And they also provided elementary education, life skills with special focus on the education of girls and children with special needs, as well as computer education. Life skills means like computer education, both the girls and the boys they have given what the child is expecting, in which category the child is weak. All those things they have introduced in the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan. And by this what happens, they have introduced concluded the investment in the DPEP. It is not a waste. So that is why they have introduced new approach to primary school interventions in India. And one act was passed by the government in April 1st, 2010, that is called RTE, Right to Education Act. According to this act, they can make compulsory elementary education to all the child. And now see this last slide. This is the year, number of colleges, number of universities, how many students and teachers in the universities and the colleges. So 1950 to 51, you observe that 750 number of colleges are 750, universities only 30, students are 2,63,000, teachers and universities and colleges are 24,000. And coming to 2016 and 17, the number of colleges increased. If you see here, colleges number increased, universities number increased, students also increased, teachers in universities and colleges also increased. How this was happened? How this was happened means in the how this was happened means in the 12th plan, the government was concentrated, the government in the 12th plan, the government was concentrated on the age group of the higher education from 8 to 23 years. 8 to 23 years were increased 25.2% in 17 and 18, and they targeted to 30% to 2020 and 21, because worldwide average in the 12th 5-year plan, the government was concentrated on GER, means gross enrollment ratio. So higher education also we should be focused, not only the elementary education. Because of elementary education, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan is there, and in the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan also they have launched so many things. What are the so many things they have launched here? Midday meal scheme was introduced. The child should not receive the education with empty stomach. So midday meal scheme was implemented to encourage the child attendance and improve their nutritional status also. But not only this elementary education, because of the gross enrollment ratio also, the government concentrated on higher education. The age is from 18 to 23 years. So by this program, 12th 5-year plan, the government was concentrated on the higher education. And by this higher education, the government took so many measures. That is what quality of education. They have given state specific curriculum, modification, vocationalization, and networking on the use of information technology. This is called as vocational stream, was introduced in the high school level, means in higher education, high school level and everywhere. And some people, they cannot go to school, they cannot go to college or university also. So those people also can focuses on distance education, convergence of formal education, non-formal education, and this IT education institutions. So that is why over past 50 years, you can see that significant growth in the number of universities and institutions of higher learning in the specialized areas. This is the table given here. Year, number of institutions of higher education, and enrollment of the students and the faculty. So like this, the government took so many measures for the improvement of education in the schools. Why? Because education is the important thing of the people to flourish any country. Thank you. Remaining topic is about the health, that I can teach you in the next class.